What's up gamers, Cryptigo here, and welcome back to Lowering the Mark, a show where I analyze the current and former world records of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe time trial runs to see how these records get faster over time. We'll look at elements such as the loadout, racing lines, and mushroom usage to better understand what's bringing these times down. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the notification bell to be the first to know when my videos go live. For today's episode, we're going to take a look at the oldest iteration of everybody's favorite course, SNES Rainbow Road at 150cc. On May 5th, 2017, the world record for this run was set at 1 minute 29.779 seconds by Canadian player Cole, and on July 28th, 2020, the world record was set at 1 minute 26.495 seconds by the Spanish player Paco. That's a 3.3 second improvement between records and a 3.7% faster time. Our former world record holder Cole has broken 61 world records across 10 unique runs and has spent 171 days holding at least one world record. Our current world record holder Paco has broken 22 world records across 2 unique runs and has spent 668 days holding at least one world record. He's also one of the only 3 Spanish players that holds a world record in this game. Now, I didn't feel like working this week, so I called in a friend to come help me out with this episode. Let's bring him out.
Hello everyone, I'm Paco Gaita, the world record holder of Snes Rainbow Road at 150cc, and I'm super excited to talk about my epic run today.
Paco was kind enough to drop by and provide some commentary over his world record run and answer a few questions about it. At pre-release, the world record was set at 133, and from there it would quickly drop by tenths at a time until we got the first sub 130 thanks to Cole. Him and K4i would battle a bit for the first 128, which would come from K4i. After that, French player Extreme would battle with Japanese player Davi for the record for a bit until Extreme recorded a 128.3, which would stand for over 100 days. In 2018, British player Joe came in and went a few thousandths faster before lowering the mark even further. Right now is when Paco starts to run the course, and he gets pretty close to 127, but Japanese player Lemon would be the first person to go that time. For a few days in October, Paco and fellow Spanish player Carlos would go back and forth trying to get that 126, but that milestone belonged to another Japanese player, Yoshi. After that little run, Paco and Alberto would duke it out a bit before Paco went on a tear, dropping 9 consecutive records to get down to a 126.4. In total, the world record was broken 98 times by 18 different players. Now, the loadouts, while similar in components, each make for a very different race. Cole goes with the combo of Dry Bowser driving the Yoshi bike with the Azure roller wheels and the Cloud Glider. Paco goes with Roy driving the Biddy Buggy cart with the roller wheels and the Cloud Glider as well. Dry Bowser and Roy only differ in a few areas but are pretty well matched. Cole has the advantage in top speed and grip stats while Paco has the edge in acceleration, handling, and mini turbo. I would tell Cole not to pick an inline drifting bike, but that's sort of his thing. I'm not here for it, but it does grant him quarter point increases to those stats that he's lacking in. Paco, unlike his competitor, isn't stuck on the CTGP circuit and picks the Biddy Buggy cart because of its near full point increases to acceleration and mini turbo, which give him the overall edge. Don't be fooled by the different colors. The roller wheels offer half point increases to acceleration and mini turbo, along with making the loadout a bit lighter, which increases handling. The same is true for the glider. They both pick the same one, which means Cole and Paco each get that final quarter point increase to those important stats. Paco comes away with the better loadout simply because of that higher mini turbo stat. It allows him to charge them up faster and reap longer boosts throughout the course. Let's have a look. This is about as simple as it gets when it comes to Rainbow Road. Just some left turns, some right turns, and a few straightaways make up this classic course. Cole starts off the race by using a mushroom to get out of the gate before taking an incredibly tight first turn and picking up a super mini turbo before hitting 2 jump boosts at the end of S1.
I start by using 2 shrooms, so I can reach the match waves during the run. The key is being as close to the edge as you can, releasing the mini turbo and tricking as soon as possible on the waves.
It's pretty crazy to use 2 mushrooms within the first 3 seconds of the race like that, but like he said, it's so he can catch all the waves and hit those jump boosts when he needs to. Because of this extra speed, Paco leads Cole by just over half of a second going into S2. Cole starts off S2 by drifting a bit wide to collect some coins and carries a drift all the way off the first ramp for an Ultra Mini Turbo. He uses that speed to take a tighter turn around the second turn and pick up another Ultra Mini Turbo before hitting 2 jump boosts after the thwomp.
Here I get the coins as tight as possible and release the Ultra Mini Turbo quickly. While holding a new Ultra Mini Turbo, I aim to the left part of the second ramp and release the Ultra Mini Turbo while tricking to make the Trazada shortcut.
As you can see, that shortcut takes out a massive chunk of that second turn while keeping up all his speed. That and having all 10 coins this early in the run contribute to Paco leading Cole by nearly a full second going into S3. In this section, Cole just carries a drift into an Ultra Mini Turbo to come flying down the back straight before hitting another tight turn and staying on a pretty solid line to close out the first lap.
Here I just shake the controller to get the two tricks, turn tight and release the orange Mini Turbo quickly. To make the perfect last double trick, I trick as soon as I can on the first wave, and then not again until the second wave finished.
Now this is where using those mushrooms early pays off. Paco gets 4 jump boosts to Cole's 0 and builds on his lead going into the second lap, which now sits at just over 1.8 seconds. Cole kinda just does the same thing in S1 but without a mushroom. He actually needs to do it this way so that he doesn't miss the waves and the 2 jump boosts that come with them. He'll ride out his Super Mini Turbo past the thwomps and actually gain a bit of ground before S2.
There are no waves to catch here, so I just stay on tight line and release the Mini Turbos fast.
Interesting to note that Paco doesn't hit the jump boost here, so his lead does drop off a bit, but it's nothing too concerning. He leads Cole by just over 1.5 seconds at the end of S1. Cole takes the first turn tighter than he did on lap 1 since there are no coins to collect, and goes off the ramp into the same tight turn round the second bend before the straightaway. Nothing's changed here.
I go tighter on the turns than lap 1, because now I don't need to get the coins. And after the shortcut, I get 2 tricks. The next 2 turns are where I gain more time, as they can be done with just 2 wheels on the course while turning.
The timing it takes to pull off that shortcut is actually pretty impressive. You need to be just right with it, or you could only end up with a Super Mini Turbo. Paco does a great job at lining himself up from the 2 ramps in order to hit that jump boost with the Ultra Mini Turbo. Those 2 jump boosts in place of Cole's 0 add to his lead that is now jumped to over 2.4 seconds at the end of S2. Cole keeps playing like he's on another console and takes an incredible line through all of S3 thanks to his inward drifting. He even hits those 4 jump boosts he missed out on earlier to close out the second lap.
As there are no waves, it's faster to release a Mini Turbo and trick off the ramp. As I fall from the shortcut, I use the shroom to take the last turn much tighter.
Tricking off that ramp is actually a really good way to keep one's speed up when you're going too fast to hit the waves, and it actually tacks on another tenth to his lead, which now sits at just over 2.5 seconds going into the final lap. Cole sort of mirrors what Paco did on lap 1 and uses his second mushroom right at the start of the lap, and then again to get past the wave before S2. He boosts a second time because it's likely he just misses out on the jump boost and needs to catch the other ones later on.
Here I hit 2 tricks, the second of which is on the last frame now.
The timing actually lines up pretty well for Paco because if he's just 1 frame too late, he'll miss that second jump boost and lose time there. His lead drops back to 2.3 seconds because of Cole's late mushrooms, but it's still a pretty good lead nonetheless. Here's another shot of the same tight turns and jump boosts we've already seen Cole do. I mean, if it ain't broke, right?
After the shortcut, I'm 50 milliseconds from tricking there, but if I do, then I miss the last trick, so it's slower.
I was actually a bit surprised to hear you say that you had to wait to hit that jump boost. Never thought it would make any sense to, but you are the guy, so I'll just smile and wave at that because your lead is back to where it was at 2.5 seconds going into the final section. Cole takes advantage of his inward drifting one last time and hits a pretty solid line down the back straight and 1 jump boost before the final turn where he'll pick up a Super Mini Turbo before crossing the finish line. Pretty solid lines all the way around.
In the final section, I check to get the 2 tricks, and then take a risky turn to make the last trick on the last frame.
Paco increases his lead over Cole in the final section thanks to those 2 additional jump boosts, after which he comes through the finish line with a time that's 3.2 seconds faster than Cole's former world record. So by catching the max amount of waves, hitting more jump boosts, and taking the Trazada shortcut on all 3 laps, Paco puts up the time that everyone was waiting for. Posting a .4 was a huge accomplishment for Paco, and it sure was well deserved. Let's hear what he has to say about that. What was going through your mind when you broke this world record?
I started screaming Trazada and ha sido épico, joder. After the .510 world record, I was challenged by the community to get the .4, so I felt free, and my mind could rest in peace for the rest of the summer. I really thought that the .495 world record could be easily the max for a human with that strat.
About how many runs get past lap 1, 2, and finish, and how many attempts did this world record take you?
I got 1 or 2 finishing runs in a single season. That's easily 5 hours of restarting the same course without stopping. This world record was done in 1 day, so close to 600 attempts. But that's nothing compared to how many times I could have restarted this course.
The 200cc world record includes clipping around the first ramp in S2. Is this something that could potentially show up in the 150cc run?
I already made a video comparison of both strats, and it's slower.
Thank you very much for your time today, Paco, and congrats on your world record. Just like in the last episode, all the best known splits are owned by one person. The final times that included the best laps 1 and 3 would actually be good enough for a spot in the worldwide top 10. I made a mistake last time with calculating the frames and I apologize for that. As you can see, lap 1 is about as fast as it gets, while laps 2 and 3 still have a few frames that can be knocked off. However, this doesn't account for when the wave patterns are available to trick off of, so this run might actually be pace locked somewhere. Who knows? The worldwide top 10 consists of 5 national record holders and 3 continental record holders. Paco leads the way with a 0.2 of a second lead over Spanish rival Alberto, and less than a frame behind him is the Japanese record holder Scary. In 4th place, we have Finland's own Tomsu, just a hair ahead of Spanish player Carlos, who sits in 5th. 6th through 9th place are separated by a mere 100th of a second and include the French record holder Army and American record holder Matt G, as well as the Japanese player Yanshi and our 4th Spanish player Nakon. Rounding out the top 10 is Yoshi, an early veteran on this course, with a time just under 4/10 back from the world record. Paco has surely separated himself as the best player on the oldest Rainbow Road, and it might be a while before someone else even comes close to a 0.5. Only time will tell. That's all for episode 22. Thanks again to Paco for helping me out with this episode. It was really fun to have him on. If any other world record holders are down for a collab, you know where to find me. If you enjoyed this video, like and share it with your friends and comment on which course you want me to analyze next. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.